There he is.
Nitwit finally called me back.
Really?
We have a lot to talk about. Old mofo.
Hello. Yeah, we were talking about a ceasefire, but the hostages. Which hostages, sir? Oh. I think it's a fair question. Yeah, they did take a couple hundred or so, huh? That was harsh. I mean, why would they capture people? Just to try to trade to get their people out of your prisons where thousands have been held for years? Well, no, I'm not saying I condone it, but I can't exactly condemn it either, given the situation and lack of options. I agree. Peaceful protest is ideal, but do you remember what happened when they peacefully protested? You don't remember? That's convenient. Well, your soldiers shot them in the kneecaps, so you didn't exactly leave them any options. I know. It's terrible. Who does that? Terrorism. It sure is. Wait. I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing anymore.
Now, for years, my approach to peace was rejected by the so-called experts.
No, yeah, I know.
Well, they were wrong.
You had to bring in the Apache helicopters and use the Hellfire missiles, and
Under their approach,
those bodies got melted, which is gnarly. But they weren't baby body parts they found burned, right? It was hundreds of them were actually Hamas.
under the approach that I advocated,
And you incinerated some of your own people.
we tried something different.
But to be fair, you fired those rockets because Hamas was there.
And in no time,
So that's still on them. And I mean, all people are kind of like babies, you know? So that's basically like babies being burned in an oven by Hamas. Well, I'm not saying I agree per se, but I'm just trying to see where you're coming from. What about the 40 beheaded babies? That's a gnarly allegation. Oh, you weren't sure, but you knew it was a possibility, so you just thought you'd just throw it out there, just in case. Safe to say that's bad practice. But they did behead a man. That's on camera. Well, we're all children of God, right? So that's kind of like a baby. Oh, we're not all? Only. Oh. Okay. Never mind, I guess. What goes around comes around.
by doing something they couldn't do for several
I'm not
years,
sure that's a good model for peace building.
the Abraham Accords ushered in another dramatic change.
I'm starting to doubt that you actually care anything about peace.
It brought Arabs and Jews closer together.
I'm just looking at the behavioral patterns. Okay. Well, let's follow your line of reasoning for a minute. I mean, an eye for an eye. By that logic, wasn't October 7th basically a boomerang that you've been throwing for decades finally making its way back to you?
There's no question.
Dog eat dog out there? Damn. Well, still, you were hurt first in the Holocaust. Well, yeah, that was one of, if not the darkest time in human history, and we won't forget, but don't you think it's unfortunate and frankly tragically unfair that now you're persecuting people who had absolutely nothing to do with the Holocaust?
But I believe that we're at the cusp of an even more dramatic.
But they want another one? Are you certain that they don't just want their homes and family members back and freedom from violent oppression?
It will encourage other Arabs
No? It's just random.
between Judaism and Islam.
Well, I don't doubt that there are extremists in each faction, as there are in your own, but it seems like the resistance does have some reasonable pretenses as a foundation. You've been very generous to them.
The dawn of a new age of peace.
You're liberating them from Hamas?
Already inside.
Well, that's f***ing dumb, you old fart. Huh? Oh, I said I think that might be an assumption. on your part.
It will encourage a broader reconciliation.
Can you hang on a second? Yeah. No, I'm just gonna take my jacket off. Yeah, I'm hot. Because this stupid shit you say makes my blood boil. Huh? Oh. I said sorry, I'm kind of tired. I stayed up late. Been burning the midnight oil. One sec. Hey. Originally, they declared war on Jews.
European and Arab leaders.
Well, yeah, I can see how, taken totally out of context, that would be damning evidence. But, sir, for a moment, imagine looking objectively at the statements and behaviors of Israeli officials who have declared war on the people who are on the land they want, without the context of their prior persecution and dispossession. Context is crucial. Why? Well, it's a catalyst for having understanding and compassion in situations where we might otherwise assume the very worst about people whose trauma pushes them to harm others in a desperate yet often self-sabotaging attempt to protect themselves from further harm. Well, they also updated the charge. Call my own prime minister.
Yeah, we don't have one of those.
Prez. Yeah. I did call Biden. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't exactly fruitful conversation either, to be honest.
Communication and energy.
Yeah. Well, I know that you guys think because you're the top dogs, you can get away with anything, but you can't. You will be held accountable.
And dramatically lower the cost of goods.
No.
See the land of Israel.
For your crimes against humanity,
What a historic change for my country. And for centuries.
you haven't committed any.
Situated in the crossroad between Africa, Asia, and Europe.
Well, you're fucking delusional.
My country
Huh?
repeatedly invaded
Oh, I said, it's definitely beyond the usual.
by empires passing through it.
Your recent actions.
Their campaigns of plunder and conquest.
You need, like, professional psychological help. We're not talking about you.
Between these countries.
Seems like kind of a sidestep, but, okay. Well, you want to talk more about
Understand the
Hamas
magnitude of the transformation
declaring war on Jews? Okay.
Let me show you a map of the Middle East.
Well, regarding that, I have a question for you. Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering, how many opportunities have they had to, travel and perhaps meet Jewish people
Isolated.
other than the IDF and Zionist settlers robbing and abusing them at gunpoint? Just curious.
Surrounded by a hostile Arab world.
Oh, zero? They've had no such opportunities? Huh. Well, that could have something to do with it. Don't you think? No, that's unrelated. Huh. I don't know. I think it's relevant. You can't allow them to travel because they're dangerous?
But we do something else.
What if they're dangerous because you don't allow them to travel
Red market
and have enough food and water and medical care and education and jobs?
to show the curse, the great curse.
Am I the expert? Just a question, sir. Okay. Okay. Text you later. Avoidant. How am I gonna get through these guys? Living in some kind of delusional, dystopian projection, creating a nightmare for millions of humans. I gotta do something. I gotta do something now. right now.